What's up, everybody? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Hope everybody's Thursday is going good thus far. I felt it was long overdue for me to do a live. I haven't interacted with my subs in a while, so I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do a live because I know it was old to you ladies and you guys. So that's the reason why I'm on board right now, getting ready to go into this particular content. Hope everybody's doing well. I know the weekend is right around the corner. For those of you who are not aware, there is a change that is getting ready to come about. They're supposed to be ending Google Hangouts as far as live panels. I don't know if it officially went into effect midnight last night or if it's going to go into effect starting today. But those who are doing content such as myself, we're not going to be able to go live with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people on the panel at a time. So for those of you who have gotten so used to going to channels where you're seeing 8 and 9 people on the panel all at once, you're used to seeing the World Wrestling Federation knockout, drag out, verbal bashing. um that stuff is getting ready to slowly come to an end. But they do have other options. They have Zoom, they have play stream and all kind of other stuff now. So I'm sure it's not going to stop the fuckery from doing this thing, but just, giving everybody a heads up on what's getting ready to happen and what's getting ready to take place. But it's not going to affect my panel or my channel because, as y'all know, I've always rocked solo for the most part. And I have a few people that I've rocked with here and there. I got my regulars like Kels and Cool Gent, Poetic Justice, name a few. I rock with the same solid people who I've been rocking with. But other than that, it's not going to change my channel. So just putting everybody on the case, y'all are not aware what's going on in YouTube streets. Thank you, Keenan Richards. Appreciate it. Always looking out for your girl. You always sending me some ties on my collection plate. Appreciate you. Thank you for the $5 donation. Big ups to all of my subscribers this morning. Keenan, Cool Jen, of course, Poetic. I got my crew here. Turf, what's up, Turf? Miss Sassy Diva, Abina, Lord, everybody who's entering, Marty, just ask Shar. If anybody comes in, to all of my mods and I overlook them, please do me a favor and just acknowledge them, welcome them here, because y'all know when I get in the rumbling and running my mouth, I'm not always looking at my chat and seeing who's coming in. So I know y'all gonna hold it down. We don't have to go into all of that. So without no further ado, going in today's content, today's recipe, we're talking about the possessive pet pookies. Yes, 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 yes. There's a lot of issues going on within the Black community of Black women that are not making wise decisions in choosing the type of men to share their lives with, the type of men to welcome into their homes, to welcome around their children. We have too many sisters that are making irrational decisions because they're desperate, or they're feeling like they can't handle the struggle on their own. So it's too many of us as Black women, we're not making wise decisions when it comes to choosing the right type of man to have in our lives. And it's very unfortunate that it has caused so many Black women to lose their lives. It's caused some of us to jeopardize our children's well-being by letting these pet pookies into our homes, letting them into our spaces, letting them in our families. We don't take the time to research these men. We don't take the time to investigate these men before we welcome them, before we allow them into our personal space. So this is the reason why I'm doing this particular content. This content is not pertaining to all Black men. This is in reference specifically to the pet pookies, those who fit the category of being a pet pookie. So let me make sure I put that out there. There's not content pertaining to Black men. It's only the pet pookies. So only if you identify as a pet pookie. That call I can't make for you, okay? So with no further ado, I was keeping up with the story that I'm going to share with y'all. I'm going to share it on my screen with this particular young lady. She unfortunately lost her life due to the fact that she married this pet pookie relatively very early. She did not know him that didn't know him that well. She knew him from back in the day, but as we know, if you relink up with somebody, you don't know how much they have changed throughout the years. Big ups to everybody that's entering the chat. Appreciate y'all for being here. I think this is good content for the fact that this needs to be discussed. We don't have enough of black sectors within the black YouTube community that are addressing these issues. There are a few of us who believe in discussing issues that are effective for the black community. We could speak on fuckery all day. You know, we can promote entertainment all day, but I think it's very important that we educate one another with the issues that are going on in the black community, because if it's not affecting you, guess what? You got a daughter, you got nieces, you got sons, you got females in your family. Don't ever think that tragedy could never strike close to home. You get what I'm saying? Never think you're exempt. Never think it can happen to you. Never think that hey, shit, that's over there. I ain't got to worry about that. It can happen to anybody. And again, this is issues that I wish more people in the black YouTube sector would discuss. Yeah. Exactly, poetic. We need to discuss stuff like this. We need to stop sweeping this stuff up under the rug and discuss issues that we can possibly face ourselves one day. It can happen to you, it can happen to your baby mama, it can happen to your mother, it can happen to somebody you love, all because she decided to take a chance with a possessive pet Pookie. Okay, so let's get it on and popping. Big ups to everybody coming in the chat room. Appreciate y'all for being here. Today I'm going to be talking about the possessive pet Pookies. We have a lot of Pookies within the black community that are very possessive. These are guys with criminal records. These are men that have a history of being very physically abusive, verbally abusive. We all know this type of guy. We all know you may have a sister that's dating one. You may have a daughter that's dating one. Your mama could be dealing with an older pet Pookie. Because let's face it, pet Pookies are not just guys under 20 years old. You get what I'm saying? When we hear the word pet Pookie, we automatically want to relate it to somebody that's young. And that's not true. There's some pet Pookies over 50 years old, beating on your moms, verbally abusing your mother. And, you don't like the situation, but your mother is not going to leave them. This is stuff we deal with on the daily in the black community, and we do not address these issues more than enough. But let's get it on and popping. So basically this is the situation here of a black female who unfortunately put herself in a very bad predicament. And I'm going to go ahead and read the story so y'all can have an understanding as to what's going on and what this content is tying into. So as the article here says, just married. What's popping up on my thing? I was gonna just married, now dead. Here's the tragedy of the woman buried in O'Fallon. Sherry Matthews learned about the horrific end to her daughter's life from the mother of the man who has since been charged with her murder. I was laying in my bed when his mom, which is the boyfriend who killed the woman, his mother called me and asked me if I heard from Andrew or little Sherry. I told her I had not, Matthews said. The woman on the phone then told Matthews her daughter had been set on fire. Matthews sent a nephew to the scene to confirm the truth of the horrible news she just received. He called back soon after. I can't read. He called back soon after, urging her to come quickly. It's bad, Auntie, he told her. According to police, Sherry Billups, 35, was doused with a diesel fuel supplement, then set on fire. When officers arrived, she was outside the 215 Kia Optima, covered in flames. She died near the family sports park in O'Fallon, just blocks away from her home in the 600 block of West Madison Street. I saw all of these police cars and all that yellow tape. I started to flip out, Matthew said. My nephew told me she was dead. She said she told a police officer, no, no, please let me see my baby. They told me, no, you don't want to see her like that. Andrew McKissick, that's a good name because he's very much sick. Andrew McKissick, Billups' husband, was charged with first-degree murder and aggravated arson on Wednesday. He had been captured Monday night in Memphis, Tennessee, and was held there on a $2 million bond as of Thursday, awaiting extradition to Illinois. He killed my baby, Matthew said through tears. I'm just devastated. I'm in so much pain. Billups and Miss Kizik had been sweethearts in Allerton Allerton Elementary School, but each moved on to other relationships. They reunited recently and were married barely a month ago. So basically, she reunited with him. They knew each other back in the day, y'all, like during elementary days. When they separate ways, you know how, you had a childhood friend and y'all go y'all separate ways and y'all don't see each other for years. And all of a sudden, y'all run back into each other and y'all rekindle things, right? This was the situation here. McKissick brought a criminal past to their relationship. According to St. Clair County Circuit Court records, he'd been charged with unlawful restraint in 2010, aggravated battery causing harm to a police officer in 2007, and aggravated battery with a firearm in 2002. So basically, this guy has a long, extensive criminal record. This is already a point in case. This is why I tell sisters, I tell black women, and a lot of them are still not doing it. Before you get involved with these pet pookies, before y'all move them in your space, before you start letting your kids call them stepdaddy and all of that, you need to check these guys' history. You need to do your research before you let these guys move into your homes and you allow your children to become too acquainted with them. So he had just recently been paroled. Yeah, Kujin, I know Memphis is really crazy. When they first got reacquainted, he had just gotten out of jail and was wearing a leg monitor. She would go over there and hang out with him, Matthew said. She picked him. He had the prize. The newlyweds had just spent a long weekend on Corpus Christi, Houston, and New Orleans, taking time to visit in Texas with Matthew's brother. So I guess they had like this little honeymoon. But McKissick had a problem with people looking at his wife, Matthew said. And Billups was tired of the constant accusations that she was cheating. So basically, this dude had a history of being very paranoid. He always accused her of cheating. He was very insecure. These are the typical signs of a possessive pet pookie. This is the reason why black women, we need to stop being so desperate, being so thirsty, and thinking that it's cute when you have a jealous ass man, because it's not cute. It's not cute when he's jealous, because after a while he's going to question your every move, your every motive, and being in a relationship like that is very toxic and abnormal. So anyway, he was a very insecure, jealous hearted guy. Matthew said she wasn't doing anything. She was just a joy to be around. Exactly, Goldie. Cortez Douglas worked with Billups, Mrs. Billups, at the post office in Collinsville. This young woman who was killed by her boyfriend, she worked at the post office. He recalled the time on his birthday when Billups gave him $10 for lunch and refused his attempts to pay her back. She was a real nice person, he said. She always tried to help somebody. She was my friend. So as you can see, she had a pretty good reputation of being a good woman. She did nice favors for people. She had a good heart or whatever. So basically, Douglas knew his friend's relationship was already on rocky footing. So this guy basically observed that Miss Billups was in a very possessive relationship with a possessive pookie. The last time he spoke to her, Billups, was on Saturday, April 20th, after she texted him from her Texas gateway that she needed to talk to him. He called her immediately and said he could hear Miss McKissick, that is the possessive pet pookie. He was in the background speaking in agitated tones and accusing her once again of cheating on him. She wasn't sounding like her normal self, Douglas said. I tried to talk to him. I told him nothing was happening with any man. I told him to chill out and enjoy the weekend. Billups and I can't say this fool name. McKissick. McKissick began the long drive back to Illinois in the black Kia Altima at about 8:30 Sunday evening. They arrived in O'Fallon at 7 a.m. Monday, just ahead of Billups' shift at the post office. She never made it back to work. Word of a fatal car fire has spread through O'Fallon Monday morning, even before police publicly identified Billups as the victim. Douglas already knew. I knew it was her because of the conversations we had within the last few weeks about him. I just knew. I put things together. Douglas said, this is something you see on television. You don't expect it to be this close. So this is the young woman here that was set on fire by the possessive Pookie. Mrs. Billups' life began in Alorton when she was raised. She found a good job as a letter carrier at the post office and a new home in O'Fallon. Friends and family called her Little Sherry since she and her mother, Big Sherry, shared the same first name. They remember her for her good looks, her willingness to help others, and a sweetness that belied her feisty spirit. When Little Sherry walked into the room, all heads turned to look at her. She was a beautiful young woman. Moving further along, she loved travel, singing, dancing. She also loved the man who now stands accused of taking her life. I never would have thought he would do anything like that. He always said he loved Sherry, and I knew Sherry loved him. So as you can see, it's a whole lot to this story. But let me tell y'all something. This is another piece of the puzzle that I found very shocking when I decided to do a content on this. Anita Owens, Billups' cousin, said the family remains shocked and saddened, but the instincts to seek revenge comes and goes. I want justice for little Sherry, she said. Everybody loved her. She never had an enemy. She loved her boy, so she was a mother. So basically, he took her away from her children. I'm sure as she was talking her last words, she was saying her boy's name. So this is Sherry. As you can see, she's a nice looking woman. She's with one of her sons here. Matthews has lived this story before. Now, the big coincidence, how about this young lady here who was murdered by her husband? How about her sister was murdered by her jealous boyfriend? So imagine being a mother and you lose both your daughters at the hands of possessive boyfriends. Isn't that ironic? This didn't happen once, but twice. Um, Matthews has lived the story before. Her sister, Janelle Howard, was also murdered by a jealous boyfriend. She was leaving him to go back to her husband, and he stabbed her so many times the coroner stopped counting. Damn. This is like deja vu. So this happened twice. Two of these women were sisters, and ironically, they both died because of domestic violence. Billups leaves behind two sons, Jaleel Williams, 15, and Jalen Williams, 12, and they were her world. Uh, Matthews exposed her gratitude to O'Fallon Police and Fire Department to the bystanders who attempted to help her daughter. So there was people that was standing by and saw that the vehicle, they saw her on fire, but unfortunately, she had already, been in bad shape. Nobody could really come to her defense and really be there for her, unfortunately. Moving on. Miss McKissick robbed my grandchildren of their mother after he told them he would never put his hands on their mother and would never hurt her, Matthew said. He put a light out. You don't dim or put out somebody else's light because you're jealous. Okay, so this is a young lady here who was murdered by her boyfriend, her husband. Her name is Sherry Billups. Now, I went on this guy's Facebook page, and it is still up, ironically. Hopefully my slow computer lets me pull it up. As you can see, this guy, he definitely has issues. uh Yeah, he seems like he looks on the crazy side, to be honest with you. This is the possessive pet Pookie who murdered this woman. Yeah, this is his page. Yeah, he you can kind of tell this guy has issues. This is his pictures of him. See, looks are very deceiving. You have to pay attention. You can't go by how people look. This is the guy here, who murdered this woman. You know, he doesn't have that look, but he doesn't look too straight in the face. If you ask me, this is him and her together. As you can tell, they were really a couple. He strikes me as an arrogant type of guy. He seems like he's very full of himself. He has a lot of selfies. Um, yeah, he just looks like he's a handful. Looks like he has children himself. Um, this is his daughter. This is his daughter. I don't like posting other people's children too much. Yeah, no matter how stressful life is, I know she got my back just like my moms do. Love you both. Now, I find this so ironic. He said, no matter how stressful life is, I know she got my back just like my mom's. So basically, the fact that this woman had his back, meaning that she enabled him, probably. She probably enabled him. She probably did a lot of things for him. She probably did everything she could to accommodate him and please him, you know. So as you can see, it's a lot of pictures of him and her together. They like a big old happy family. See, looks so deceiving. Very deceiving. Turf says seemingly these ladies walked willingly into the belly of the beast. I agree, Turf. He was a straight beast. Beast at his finest. What's up? What's up, CC Rose? I know someone who has a good job, has a nice house. She has picked up a jailbird after breaking up with a guy who has a good job. Prison Bay. I'm telling you, them Prison Bay, something about these beastie dudes. These beastie dudes have that platinum penis. I'm telling you, they got that platinum stroke game. No disrespect to this young lady, but it had to be that because I don't see what else he got to offer. I mean, he's not that good looking. He don't have a job. So it had to be the penis. And as you can see, she's very in love with him. She was very infatuated with him. She's taking selfies with him. She was boosting this pet Pookie's ego. And this is the reason why when she didn't want the relationship anymore, he couldn't handle it. You pick you up a pet Pookie and you no longer want to feed that pet Pookie, you no longer want to have anything to do with that pet Pookie, they can't handle it. What's up, Sinister Minister? Yep, she probably bought an Xbox, probably bought his Jordans. I'm sure she did all of that. I'm sure she did all of that. Yeah, it's sad, poetic. He buried her alive. I mean, that's the worst way to go. To be in the fire. You know what I mean? That's just I don't even want to imagine that. On good sex, yep. And I speak on that all the time, Marty. It's too many black men and black women that are basing their relationship on sex. I'm telling you, if you could remove sex out the equation, half of these people wouldn't even be together. Half of them wouldn't have a relationship. If you could remove sex and really deal with the person for who they are, take away the orgasms, take away the climax, and you will really see they have nothing else to offer. That's the God's honest truth. What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Tony? If you take away that, they have nothing to offer. I don't care how good a female gives you a blowjob. Take away that. What else does she have to offer? Does she have a brain? Can she help you build a business, a brand? What else does she have to offer? That's the part. That's what we're dealing with in the black community. But this is him. This is the pet Pookie who murdered this woman. And you can see he's very cocky and very arrogant. He said, I've been a king. A king of what? Unemployment? Look at him. He's very cocky. He looked dark in the face to me. He like literally looks dark. I'm telling you. I mean, I don't see how, you know, his aura, you know, his aura just strikes me as a creepy ass type of dude. Um, So as y'all can see, man, you know, she was lovey-dovey. She was in love with this dude, you know. You can pretty much see that. You know, she's all over his pictures, kissing on him, hugging on him. She made this Pet Pookie feel like a king. And that's why Pet Pookie, he could not handle the rejection when she no longer wanted him. He got here every day. I'm okay. Somebody is not hooked on phonics. Every day I'm faced with a chance to go forward or backwards. I choose forwards. It's hard and slow, but in life, this dude can't even, oh my gosh, he could barely write. We must learn to enjoy the struggle so when I look back on these days, I would know I did it the right. Oh my gosh. I, Black women, what's going on with us? If a man can't even form a straight sentence, why are you even attracted to these type of dudes? Like for real. Just hearing the way he types, I could imagine how he talks to a person. Yeah, 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 you know what's up. You know I'm the kind of nigga, you know what I'm saying? I be handling my business, you know what I mean? It's not funny, but it is funny. Can't cook, clean, wash behind correctly, and think they got full control over your house with no money. Exactly. Exactly, CC Rose. These possessive pet pookies got no job, don't own a job, but want to own somebody. Because what he was doing was putting it down in the bedroom. We know the real reason behind this. He can't. Ain't no way. I couldn't even talk within 5 minutes of conversation. I would have knew this dude what was Pet Pookie certified to the second power. He don't even get a Pet Pookie certification. He get a Pet Pookie doctrine. He don't even get the Pet Pookie diploma. He get the he's the PhD in Pet Pookie. Like really? Come, I don't know what's up with us as black women. You can hear within in 5 minutes of the conversation, dude is illiterate. It's very bizarre. And he up there, look at him. He loving himself, y'all. Pet Pookie is loving himself. Now, is he on somebody's job? Where he at? Look like he on some, I don't know where he at. Maybe he wasn't at his job. Maybe he was going to see his probation officer. Let me stop. I'm being messy. Let me stop. Yeah. What's up, E. Alice? Yes, smoking weed all day. He taking pictures like he has somebody's job. Now, this is mother. This is mother right here. This is his mom. His mom posted here. You already making it. Thank the Lord. He have blessed you to come home. Okay, so must have just got out of jail around this time because the mother confirmed that here on his Facebook page. You already making it. Thank the Lord. He have blessed you to come home. You got a job and you have a nice girlfriend and you got family that's rooting for you. Okay, the mama can't spell either. She got rotten for you. And most of all, you have your freedom. Yep, he just got out of jail. You have the power to pick up where you left off, but you have the power to make better choices for your life. Every day is not going to be easy, but you have to pray, asking God to help you to carry on. So she probably was one of those mothers who enabled her son, probably encouraged him, no matter how fucked up he was mentally. And you have a lot of black mothers in the black community. Some of these black mothers are mentally imbalanced. And all they do is pass down the mentally imbalanced character traits to their black sons and their black daughters and make them more goddamn dysfunctional. I can tell just by listening to her type. She ain't that bright either. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Yeah, she's the cuddling mother, CC Rose. That's the word. The cuddling mother. Yeah, all pet pookies. And you notice pet pookies, their mamas is ride or die. A pet pookie, They mama gonna stand up for them. I don't give a damn. She got more courage in her son than what we had in Barack Obama. Then them pet Pookie mamas gonna defend they pet Pookie ass sons all the way to the, I mean, to the core. And probably she was encouraging them because she was glad, you know what I'm saying, that Pet Pookie was taken off her hands, and now he was another woman's problem. Some of these Pet Pookie mamas, they be glad when they Pet Pookie sons get another woman, because guess what? They ain't got to deal with them no more. That's why she up here reading him Bible scriptures and telling him she glad he got a girlfriend, because she ain't got to deal with her Pet Pookie ass son no more. A lot of them be glad when somebody take them off their goddamn hands. They will praise they'll praise their sons, but they don't want to deal with their sons. They want another woman to deal with the corrupt bastard that they have produced. That's what I'm saying. His mama, I see why he the way he is. Just hearing how she talks. And there's too many of us as black women in the black community that's creating our sons to be another woman's goddamn nightmare. If you ain't creating your sons, you creating your daughter to be another man's nightmare. Y'all creating these monsters for somebody else to have to deal with. His mama created this monster for somebody else to have to deal with. And I guarantee you, she been saw there was problems with her sons year ago. But like some of these hood rats, some of these black women, and I'm not talking about all black women. If it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. Let it fly. But the majority of these black women in the black community, they enable this pet Pookie ass type of behavior or this possum behavior, and this is the results we have to deal with. If it wouldn't have been this woman, he would have did it with somebody else's daughter. This is what we're dealing with. These are the issues that we need to discuss within the black community. Like I said, his mother is a pet Pookie enabler. Now, for everybody who's just coming in, who's trying to figure out what's going on, this particular Facebook page I'm showing you is this dude here. He killed his wife, who he ain't even been married to her for a good month. And he killed her and set her on fire, all because he had insecurities. He felt like she was cheating on him and messing around on him. So he killed her and took her away from her two sons. All she did was work. She had a good job. She worked at a post office. You know, anybody that works at the post office makes good money. So she had a nice government job. 9 times out of 10, I know she was taking care of him. Like somebody said in here before, she probably bought his PlayStation, bought his Jordans, probably paid to get his head dreaded. You know, she kicked out money for him, and he killed her. All because he had insecurities. Like I said, this is him here. This dude, this is the man who murdered and killed this woman and set her on fire. He's in prison now. So basically, this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of possessive pet Pookies within the black community, and what a lot of you black women have to understand, a lot of the shit that we go through is the things that we bring upon ourselves. I'm going to repeat that again, just in case that flew over somebody's head. For those who didn't hear it in the back, black women, a lot of the things that we go through is things that we bring upon ourselves. This dude had an extensive criminal record. Let me go back to the story where it talks about his criminal record. This is the woman here who was murdered. This is the woman he murdered, his wife. This dude had a history of being in and out of the correctional facilities. The man was institutionalized. I'm trying to find a part where they talk about his record. Okay, here it is. He had a criminal past history that the man had issues. The question of my sisters out here, why are y'all not checking these pet pookies? Why y'all are not checking their criminal records? If a man, she met him with an arm bracelet on, with an ankle bracelet on. Why she did not ask him what he was in prison for, or why she didn't, better yet, why she didn't do her own research. This stuff is public record. They got all type of things now where you could pay to get people records online. She ain't do none of that. When she met him, he was on parole or probation, whichever one. He had been charged with an unlawful restraint in 2010. And he had aggravated battery causing harm to a police officer. If a grown man will fight another grown ass man, if a grown man will fight authority, you think he ain't gonna whip your ass? What's up, Arab Black? What's up, Nadia? The man had an extensive criminal record. What part are we not understanding as Black women? If a man has a history with aggravated battery, unless you know he has anger issues, he lacks discipline, he will put his hands on you. This man is fighting officers for God, for crying out loud, like white people would say, for crying out loud. Yeah, she invited Dracula. And he had aggravated battery with the firearm in 2002. He was wearing a leg monitor. He just got out of jail. Sisters, can somebody please explain this to me? And see what a lot of women are not understanding about these pet pookies. First of all, a lot of them, the majority of them come from nothing. They come from nothing. Some of these dudes come from an unstable childhood. And the prime candidates of pet pookies, the majority of them have not been raised by strong men. Most of these pet pookies have been raised by dysfunctional Black women, which are their mothers, as CC Rose mentioned earlier in here, a mother who has coddled them and enabled them, a mother who is still washing underneath their scrotum sack. She's still wiping him with baby wipes under his scrotum sack. Whenever you meet a pet pookie who has his mother still catering to him, that already lets you know what you're in for. Y'all won't deal with no real man, because real men expect more out of you compared to a pet pookie. It don't take much to win a pet pookie. You could win a pet pookie over with a pack of ramen noodles and an orange goddamn soda. A real man, a man with substance and values, you got to come correct, or he ain't dealing with you. And the problem with a lot of us as sisters, we not gonna step our game up. So therefore, we will always be qualified only for pet goddamn pookies. Lot of us as Black women, we don't want to put in work. We don't want to better ourselves. So we don't just only be qualified for a damn pet pookie. And this is the thing, when you make pet pookie ass decisions, you end up only being able to select a pet pookie. Because a man is not going to choose a woman that's a liability risk. Let me let you know what makes you a liability risk. You got too many different children from too many different men. You are a liability risk. Ain't no real man about to invest in you when you got that much baggage. It's not happening. But a pookie don't care if you got 9, 10 children. You don't have to have no value, no substance, no nothing, because he's not with you for that reason anyway. He's with you so he can continue to benefit off of you. Lay on your sofa, take over your Amazon Fire Stick remote so he can goddamn watch Netflix and Hulu all day, banging chicks out in your apartment while you working and paying the bills. These are the type of guys that Black women, we are belittling ourselves to attract. And then here comes the sympathy stories. Well, NIGGA ain't this, ain't that. We want to blame all black men because we keep picking up pet pookies. That's what you chose. It's not that all black men are the same. You keep choosing the same black men. And that's the same thing I hear brothers do it. Yeah, all these black women. No, no, no. It ain't all black women. It's the black women you keep choosing, my brother. Pet pookie parasites. Exactly, E. Alice. What's up, Mocha? Yeah, mama, like Obsidian would say. We got a lot of them out there. I'm telling you. I know Bismillah. We coming up with all kind of y'all know how us content creators are. We coming up with all kind of crazy ass slang. Just keep up with us. Y'all know we special. But this is what I'm saying. This dude already had problems. She was a woman that had a good job, making good money. She didn't have to resort to picking him up. She could have made a better choice than that. But and make it so bad, he has children himself. He took this woman's life and he had his own kids. So not only did the woman, he take her life, she's not there for her kids. He can't be there for his own doggone kids. He's a father. Like I said, this dude here, for everybody who's coming into the chat and you're just coming into the classroom and you don't know what's going on, this is the man here who murdered this young lady. Let me see. Go back. Let me go back. He murdered this young lady, Sherry. I believe her name was Sherry Billups. This is her visual. He set her on fire because he had suspicions that she was cheating on him. But most pet pookies, that's the problem. Because they don't have a job, they got too much time on their hands to worry about what somebody else doing. Had he had a job and had a life of his own, he would not have time to be sitting up here worrying about what he thinks she doing and all this and that. Straight pet pookie. What's up, Jess? How you doing? This is what's going on in the black community. It's too many women. We keep attracting ourselves to these possessive pet pookies. They don't want to own a job. They don't want to own a car, but they want to own you. They don't own no good credit. They ain't owning nothing. They just want to own a woman. And it's our fault, ladies, because y'all fall and pray to the platinum penis. Is my volume too loud, y'all? If it's loud, let me know so I can turn it down because I do have a loud voice. I don't want to blow nobody eardrums. If I need to turn it down some, please let me know. But back to what I was doing. Okay. But it's too many women that are being blinded by the power of the penis. These dudes have so much time on their hands to keep up with what you doing and where you at, because as a man, he don't have he has nothing going for himself. This is what happens when you pick up a pet pookie versus a real man. These dudes become possessive of you. They want to own you. They calling your job every 30 minutes, making sure you at work. Cause if he had a job of his own, if he had his own goddamn job, he wouldn't have time to be calling you on your job, worrying about what you doing. What's up, Raw L? What's good? What's up, AJ? Appreciate you. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with a man that don't have a job but could sit up here and call me on my goddamn job all day. Ladies, what's going on with us? Why are we resorting to the pet pookie level? I'm trying to understand. We need to do better, ladies. And I was just saying this. I think I was on Coogent show. And I was just saying this the other day. I was just saying this the other day. And Coogent and Kels, they can attest to this. I don't even see how a woman finds any pleasure and joy with sexually giving herself to a man who don't have a job, who don't work. How you comfortable laying up and giving dude some and he don't have a job? Instead of hitting you, he should be hitting the time clock. Why are y'all so comfortable with going to bed with dudes? Y'all sexually giving yourselves to dudes who are not bringing in a paycheck. I don't care if he work at Popeyes or if he works at a car wash. Any real man who values himself is not going to feel comfortable with laying on your rent-a-center furniture all goddamn day while you the only one working or hustling. It's not in a real man's nature to let a woman provide for him. And the reason why is because no man wants to be at the mercy of any woman, not if he's a real man. Because women, you know how we do. If we the ones that's in charge of things, we the one running things, the moment we can't have our way or we can't get them to do what we want them to do, what we quick to say, well, you can get out my Section 8 apartment. Well, you can get out my house. Ain't no real man about to put himself in a position where a woman got to take care of him because him as a real man, he knows that's giving her power over him. Ain't no real man going there like that. It's not happening. Now, that man may let you move in with him, but he ain't about to move in with you. Or if he does move in with you, you better believe he's making his own money, because if you're talking slick at him, he's leaving. But a pet pookie, you can't get rid of a pet pookie. I've seen women who have gotten relationships with pet pookie and wanted him to get out her house. And he tell her, I ain't going no motherfucking well. You make me leave this. You make me leave. I ain't going no motherfucking well. He ain't going nowhere. It's women that are afraid to leave their own apartment because the pet pookie got so much control over them. It's women, it's some women, it's maybe one or two in my chat room right now. They are afraid of their, other words, what I'm trying to say is, it's women, they have no freedom in their own house. I know women personally, and some of my ladies in here, y'all may know, y'all may have homegirls, y'all may have a sister, female cousin. They can't do nothing in their own apartment, their own house, and they're the ones that's paying the rent and paying the bills. What's up, Life Machine Power? Good to see you. It's women that are scared to do anything in their own house. She paying the rent, she paying the light bill, she paying the mortgage, and this pet pookie is sitting there controlling everything. She can't do nothing. He ain't got a job. He got too many ain't gots. A lot of these pet pookies got too many ain't gots. Ain't got no job. Ain't got no car. Ain't got no credit. Yeah, it belonged the house, but yeah, like Snoop Dogg from Baby Boy, like Rael said. Remember, she was scared to leave her own room. It's a lot of women, they scared to leave their own apartment. They scared to drive their own house, drive their own car, because Pet Pookie done already told them, you ain't going nowhere tonight. You keeping your ass in here. You don't work all day. You ain't going out nowhere tonight. What's up, Lord? How you doing? Yeah, went in her purse, stole her money. These pet pookies be driving these broads cars that they paying the car notes on every month, driving their car, burning their gas while she the one working. He picking her up late from her job, even though he not working, and he's dealing with other females on the outside. No, he ain't got no job. He dealing with hood rats and possums on the outside. Pet Pookies be having several women. They have 2 and 3 of them. They got one they live with. They got one who let them use their car. They got one female put them out. They just go to the next female house. Pet Pookies always at least have 2, 3 residences. If one female won't do what they want them to do, they'll go to another female house. That's what they'll do. This is what we're living in now. So this is the situation, you know. Rest in peace to Sherry Billups and her family. You know, I feel sorry for her children. I feel sorry for her boys. And this is another thing. As women in the as black women, we have to be careful with the choices we make when we invest in these pet pookies, because when he took her life, he stripped her from her children, and they were innocent bystanders. So these young men are going to have to grow up without their mother. So while you're up here having a good time, and you know this dude is abusing you, he's beating on you, he's fighting you, he's stealing your money, he's controlling you in your own house, realize that if something happens to you, your children are going to be left behind. Somebody else is going to have to raise your babies. Is that what you want? As women, if you don't think of nothing else, think about the fact, if something happens to you, do you trust that someone else is going to take care of your babies like you do? Do you trust that? What's up, the Punisher? Black women, we have to do better. We definitely have to do better. Now to another pet pookie situation. Now I'm gonna take out to the other pet pookie situation. Now I've talked about this before and my other content, but I still wanted to bring this up because I know everybody. Sometimes y'all miss sometimes when I do different contents, and I get it. You know, you can't catch every live stream that I do, but it's a lot of women that are putting themselves in pet pookie situations. You know, this dude is so controlling and so possessive of you. You know you dealing with a pet pookie when your family stop messing with you. Your family don't call and check on you no more. Your friends don't hardly see about you no more. Nobody wants to deal with a female that has a pet pookie as her man, because them kind of dudes are very possessive. They be sitting around while she there on the phone with you. You go to her apartment, you want to hang out with your friend, your sister, to see how she doing. Possessive pet pookie, he's sitting right there in the living room, smacking on a bowl of fruity pebbles, all in your goddamn conversation, because he's so goddamn possessive. He don't want nobody. He don't want nobody to be alone with his woman without him being there. It's very, very sad. But you got some women who they do that. You have some women, nobody don't want to deal with them. If you're a female and you don't have no more female friends, your family don't rock with you no more, nobody comes by to see you or anything, it's probably because you would have got down pet pookie. You would have possessive pet pookie. Nobody wants to deal with a female that's with a possessive pet pookie. Nobody wants to be your friend because you got your damn probation officer with you everywhere you go. Iala says, if these pet pookies are so willing to go back to prison for murder, I don't know why they just won't go sell some drugs or contribute financially. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I agree with that. Right by the phone with a loser. Yeah, he be sitting right there, all in her conversation. He won't go to no job. He won't fill out no job application. This like this last young lady I just told you about, you know, people were seeing how possessive he was with her. People are seeing that. But these are the same type of females, no disrespect to this lady, but these are the same type of females. They will get pissed off if you get on them about their pet Pookie. They don't want nobody telling them about their pet Pookie. Yeah, Pet Pookie is a probation officer. He want to know where you going, when you coming back, how long you gonna be there, how much money you spent when you was there, how much gas you used when you was there. I had a female friend. I had to stop dealing with that broad. That Pet Pookie probation officer. He was calling every freaking 5 minutes. He called when we left her house. He called when we made it to the third stoplight. He called when the appetizer came to the table. He called when the dinner got to the table. He called when we was leaving the goddamn restaurant. I don't deal with females like that. If you got a pet Pookie ass man, you don't need no female friends. Don't be talking about, girl, I want to go out with you tonight. You ain't going out with me because your pet Pookie probation officer gonna be blowing up your phone every 5 minutes. Then they be quick to want to go somewhere. Girl, let's go out tonight. You better stay home with your probation officer. I'm not coming to pick you up. Exactly. Any man that's confident in himself, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be this overly controlling, overbearing dude. You handling your business and you doing what you're supposed to do as a man. You know, you really don't have no control over somebody else's behavior. If somebody wants to cheat on you and somebody wants to mess around on you, ain't nothing you can do about that. All is being overprotective and overbearing. All it does is it makes people more sneaky with what they do. That's all it does. You're not stopping nobody from cheating or holding a line on you just because you blowing up their phone every 5 minutes. You be blowing up their phone every 5 minutes and they still got somebody right there, you know, that they sneaking and dealing with. You know what I mean? So being over possessive is not going to get you nowhere. Now, this is another situation where this man was arrested days after his girlfriend. Let me see. Make sure I got the right story. Is this it? Yeah, I hope that's one. Okay, yeah, this is the story here. Okay, now this is another pet Pookie situation, y'all. What's up, Craig? You know I tell the truth. Raw, no condom. That's what I'm saying. I don't like, if you know you got a possessive ass man, don't be putting your girlfriends in the crossfire. Cause I don't want your man, I don't want your pet Pookie killing me because he thinking I got you out here meeting with side dudes and stuff like that. We've heard stories like this where some of these pet Pookies, they will kill they woman friend, thinking that their girlfriend is coercing their woman to do all kind of stuff. If you know your man is Ike Turner, he possessive, he's a probation officer, you stay in that misery by your damn self. Don't be bringing other people in that mess with you. Because some females have lost their lives like that. Because the man thought her friend had her doing something. I don't deal with stuff like that. What's up, Sus Spuds? Yeah, and that's true too, Punisher. Now, this situation here is a man who was arrested days after girlfriend was found stabbed to death inside her home. Charlotte, North Carolina, police said they caught the man who they think stabbed his girlfriend to death earlier this week. Aliyah Terry was killed in what police believe to be a domestic violence incident. She had hoped her testimony would help other women in similar situation. Isaiah Henderson III turned himself into police and was charged with her murder. This is the guy here. Oh God, I don't understand how some of these women, you can't look at these dudes and tell something wrong with them. He looked really well. I don't know. Maybe he ain't looked as bad when she met him. Police have been looking for Henderson after they found Terry stabbed to death early Tuesday inside her East Charlotte home. The homicide was Charlotte's 59th of the year, one more than the Queen City. Officers were called shortly 2 a.m. to the scene on Gold Pan Road off the Plaza Road extension, where they found Terry, 35, who had been stabbed. She was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Terry died just days before a book she wrote about domestic violence was available for pre-order. She wrote about her experience and the Queen experience. Nikita Davis and Terry endured and overcame much heartache. She was a beautiful person inside out and kept a bright smile. Davis is the book's publisher, and Terry had hoped her story would inspire abused women. I want women to walk away knowing there is help, Davis said about the book. David said that the book includes work from several women and aims to motivate. It encourages women across the world to play their royal position, encouraging people to live out their God-sized dreams. So coincidentally, she was writing a book on domestic violence, trying to inspire other women to walk away from these possessive pet pookies. And unfortunately, she became the victim of the very thing that she was trying to inspire other women from. Basically, police told Channel 9 that 4 hours before finding Terry, they were called to the home because of an argument between the woman and her live-in boyfriend. Okay, live-in pet Pookie. Henderson, 32. When officers showed up, Henderson had already left, and police determined no crime had been committed. But again, no crime was committed. Officers cleared the scene. 4 hours later, we received a call about the stabbing here at the address. Terry's book was available for pre-order on Amazon.com. David said 50% of pre-order sales will go in for her children. So basically, a lot of people find the situation shocking. And basically, what happened in this situation, she did not want the relationship anymore. He saw that she was getting ready to progress and she was getting ready to leave him. And most possessive pet pookies, they cannot handle a woman leaving them. As the saying goes, a loser does not want to lose. A loser doesn't want to lose. And anytime you're dealing with somebody, and this is the same thing for you men, anytime you as a man dealing with a woman that has nothing to lose, or you a woman that's dealing with a man that has nothing to lose, whenever you get involved with a person that has nothing to lose, they will sabotage everything you have ever accomplished for yourself. When a person comes to the table with nothing, keep in mind that they don't have a problem destroying everything you have worked hard to accomplish, because they did not play no part in your success. So keep in mind, when you're a very successful person and you bring somebody in your life that don't have a pot to piss in or window to throw it out of, they are not backing down without a fight. Exactly, Ron L. A loser that has nothing to lose will make you lose everything. It's as simple as that. Turf, can you what do you mean by malevolent malevolent entity? What is that? If you don't mind explaining that for me. He looks like he has a malevolent. I can't read today, y'all. Malevolent entity residing inside of him. I'm just interested. I'm interested in knowing what that means, because sounds like something interesting. They have nothing to lose. This woman was making boss moves. She was writing a book. She was trying to make something of herself. And this possessive probation officer, Pet Pookie, took this woman's life. This is what happens, ladies, when you pick up a loser and you thirsty evil. Okay, thank you for explaining that. Okay, got you. Yeah, this man, this man looks like Lucifer himself. This is what happened. Yeah, this was she chose. But see, let me tell y'all something about pet pookies. I've heard more than one guy in here saying, why did she choose this dirty, low down Negro or whatever? There's some factors that play into why some women opt for pet pookies. The first thing is the platinum penis. We already know that. Guys that know they lack in a job, they lack in money, they lack in ambition, they overly compensate for that in the bedroom. They know how to beat it, they know how to eat it, they know how to do all these wonderful things that some of you hardworking brothers won't do. I'm just saying, shoot the messenger. I'm not saying you got to agree with it. I'm just telling you. It is what it is. He knew what to do in the bedroom. Some of these guys will go places that some of these other brothers ain't gonna go. I'm just saying. You got some, oh, I ain't trying to do that. Oh, I ain't putting my mouth over there. Oh, no. Let me tell you something. A pet pookie is like a buffet. All you can eat, baby. I'm just saying, pet pookies do it all. And if you are not used to a man pleasing your body in that on that level, you will get turned the hell out. That's what I'm saying. He probably did some things that some brothers never ever did. It happens. And only real women who've been in real situations could relate and understand where I'm coming from. It's like a culture shock when a man sexually pleases your body in a way that other brothers are too good to do it. I'm just saying. I know that doesn't sound ladylike, but I'm just telling you. And that's all it takes is just one. But guys like this, they know how to turn a woman out. It's like pet pookie is like a bad drug. You know it ain't good for you, but it just feels good. I'm just saying, I don't know. I heard some, I haven't been, in that situation, but I've had sisters come to me and share with me their adventurous pet pookies sexcapades. And the stuff that these men do in the bedroom, the average brother is not going to do it. But they do it all and then some. I'm just saying. Tell the truth, shame the devil. He did more than that. That's just the that's the basic package. He did more than that. When I say everything, everything. Y'all just speaking on the basics. No, pet pookies, no, they have their sex game up to a whole nother level that the average man can't reach that plateau. I'm just saying, Miss Miller. I know it's a little bit much, but I have to tell it like it is. Now I'm gonna try to share this thing again because it was tripping on me. Most men, even the best lover, okay, let me just say this. There's different levels of there's different sexual levels with the man when it comes to sexually pleasing a woman. You have some men who do the basic, that do the basic sexual pleasure, um, you know, and you have the intermediate brothers that which are better than the basics. They do a little bit more, they're a little bit more adventurous. They're not as, lame. But then you have these brothers that are advanced in the bedroom. They do things that will have you reaching for shit that's not even up there. I'm just saying. Only a real woman who has experienced it know what the hell I'm talking about. We don't have to go into details. I'm trying to keep it rated G as much as I can. Okay? Believe me, you know the difference between an advanced brother and an intermediate, and then you have your basic. Rael, do not make me say it. I'm just saying, pet pookies are really good. They specialize in the bedroom. It's common sense. Ain't got nothing else. Ain't got no car. Ain't got no money. What else he got? He knows how to double up in his bedroom skills. He does it all. He does not skip a beat. Some of you brothers are multiple choice brothers. You do what the hell you feel like doing when you feel like doing it. But then you have the advanced pet pookies that do everything. They have no limits. And that's how a lot of women get slapped the hell out when you meet one of those advanced brothers that don't have no limits. Does it all. Only women who have been there before, they know what I'm talking about. It's a few sisters out there who will admit it. Poetic says with the shower rod. Exactly, Rael. That's why I'm not. I could say it, but I don't want nobody looking at me differently. Like, oh my gosh, Mocha, you get down like that. Look, let me tell you something. I'll keep that on the DL and the EL, even lower. I'll keep it right where it's at. Yeah, that double thrust, all that. Pet pookies, what I'm saying is people always want to know why women mess with pet pookies. Them brothers are gifted in their they're gifted in their tongue game, and they're gifted in their platinum penis game. They are blessed in that game. If you are one of these women and you are fortunate, and if you have a brother that's truly, truly blessed, bless your heart, sister. Bless your heart, because they're a rare gem. Because some of these dudes out here, oh no, I ain't about to do that. I ain't about to do that. You ain't about to have me doing all this and that. I hear you, Turf. I understand. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just telling y'all why some of these women, you know what I mean? I get everybody got standards, but you have some women, they want a buffet brother. He's an all you can eat special. He ain't picky. I don't want to eat that. I don't want to eat. No, a lot of sisters out here, they want a buffet, or they want a buffet brother. That's all I'm saying. I mean, take it for what it is. Let me move on, because I'm going too deep into this. Y'all have figured out. We'll talk about buffets for another time. I'll save that for another conversation. Yeah, but as I was stating, yeah, this is basically what happened. She didn't want the relationship anymore. She wanted out, and he couldn't handle it. Like I stated, when you meet somebody who comes in a relationship with nothing, they don't want to leave, because the main thing they're thinking about is all of the benefits they are going to lose. So when it's kind of like, for instance, it's kind of like picking up a stray dog. We've all seen a stray dog that roams the street. Oh, Counselor Murray say they learned it in prison. Okay. Well, thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. That's an interesting point. If Pet Pookie been out of prison, that's probably where the hell he learned it from. Thank you, counselor. I ain't think about it like that. You gave me a different perspective, and I appreciate the $5 donation. Thank you very much. Very interesting. Never know where the hell they learned it from. something you got to think about, ladies. If he too good, you got to wonder. Yeah, but that's specifically for pet pookies. Guys who've been in and out of the prison system, that makes sense. That's that I can kind of see that. That's a logical viewpoint. Counselor Murray could be. If he's been in and out of correctional facility, I would not be surprised. That's probably what it is. Yeah, I can buy. Yeah. For pet pookies. Now, that's not all. Let me make sure I say all this. Let me make sure I put this out here, because there are some men that don't have a problem with just sexually pleasing a woman to the fullest extent. It does not mean he got it from prison, okay? Because I don't want sisters missing out on the gift, because there's this myth going around that if you do all this to a woman, you've been in prison. I do not want that myth going around, because I don't want sisters missing out on the blessing, because brothers gonna feel some type of way. Yeah, man, I was on Mocha show. And Mocha said, y'all not gonna sit up here and lie on me. Y'all not about to sit up here and say, Mocha said, well, if you do all this and that, two women in the bedroom, that mean you on the other side of the team. No. That is not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying, because it's no different. Like, you have some women who know how to sexually please a man. Some people are good at what they do. It does not mean there's any ill intent behind it. You know, because I don't want sisters, because it's some guys I know who never been to prison and don't have a problem with pleasing a woman. You just have some people, they got their boundaries and they got their limits. You got some people, they're not going to do certain things. And I understand that. But just because another person is willing to explore and experiment more than you, don't knock that person gift. Let people be gifted in what they are gifted in. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that, Raw L. I cannot, I will never dispute that. There's some women that are very overly sexual. So just want to make that clear. So, you know, what goes on in your bedroom stays in your bedroom. But just because somebody is overly sexual, it does not mean they've been to prison. Okay? So, with that being said, that's why I thought it was important. Because the problem is, in all honesty, and I know I've been joking and cutting up a lot, you know, to change the mood. I don't like it too rigid and too serious. But in all honesty, these are the issues that there's not enough of Black content creators on YouTube. They don't want to talk about stuff like this. We talk about Pookies and Ray Rays, but what about these Pookies that are taking people's lives? There's a mental imbalance. There's a dysfunction. There's a lot of dysfunctionality in the Black community. And it's not just a Black man's problem, it's not just a Black woman's problem. You have some black dysfunctional men, and you have some Black dysfunctional women. This dude was obviously very dysfunctional. He was very dysfunctional. He took this woman's life. He was not man enough to accept the fact that she did not want him. One thing about men, y'all have a big advantage. And let me tell y'all what that advantage y'all have. If a woman decides that she does not want you anymore, for whatever reason, she has given up on you, she don't feel like you're valuable, you don't have to kill that woman. You don't have to, like, you know, take her life to where you lose your life. Let me tell you something. As a man, it's a simple trick. A simple trick. If you want to get your woman's, if you want to get your point across to a woman who does not see your value. If you want a woman to regret that she gave up on a good man, this is what you do. Step up on your game, even bigger, and get you to another broad that's better than her. That would kill a woman more than you taking her life. To see that you move on, you still on your game, you looking better, you got a better job, you done upgraded your swag game, you got a female that's top notch that looks better than her, that will kill her more than you taking her life. That's all you got to do. If she feel like you a bum dude, she feel like you ain't worth nothing, I'm telling you what will kill a woman. To see a man bounce back and come out on top even bigger and better than you did when you was with her. I know y'all really don't believe that, but I'm telling you, that kills women. I hear women all the time. Yeah, when he was with me, he didn't dress like that. When he was with me, he didn't make money like that. When he was with me, he ain't had no car. He ain't had no this. When she sees you step your game up with another woman, that will kill her more than anything. I promise you. That's what you do. You don't put yourself in a situation where you're incarcerated and you lose your freedom and your whole life is gone. Now, I know I shared with y'all some very sad and tragic stories here, but I'm about to get a little personal. Because I'm going to share something with y'all that is very, very personal. It's very, very close to home, with the situation that I'm about to go into. And the reason why I'm sharing this particular personal situation is because I want people to know that this just does not happen over the news. This just not happens to other people. It can actually happen to you. It can happen to someone you love, and it can happen to somebody you care about. So, on that note, when I'm up here talking about, the pet Pookies and how uh, they have the advantage of ruining somebody's life. A lot of these pet Pookies, what they don't understand is that they also can ruin their own life. They ruin their own life, when they try to make another woman's life miserable. So, this story, and I mentioned this before, for those who have been rocking with me for quite some time, this story relates close to home because this has everything to do with my best friend. And she was in a situation similar to what these females are going through. So this story to me, it kind of no problem, Bismillah. Appreciate you for hanging out with me. This story kind of hits close to home because, like I said, this involves my best friend. Me and this lady, we had a very, very strong bond. We was not sisters blood wise, but we were sisters spiritually wise. And me and this woman, we had a bond um since elementary school. And life sometimes takes its course and you go your separate ways, you get married, you have children, things happen, life takes you different directions. So what ended up happening was me and her, we reconnected back in 99 or 2000 after separating for almost 7-8 years. And my friend here, she always really wanted a relationship. She wanted to be married. She wanted somebody who would value her as a woman. She worked hard. She took care of her sons. um she was very church going. She was a very good woman who handled her business. And all she ever tried to strive for was the better in life. She always tried to strive to better herself. She was a good mother. She was a good employee. She worked hard. She had uh sh- she had two sons who she took care of and she raised by herself. And she didn't cry and complain about it. She didn't get child support, but she was not one of those black women that was bitter about it. She didn't let it make her spineless. She was very independent. She worked hard. And basically what had happened was you know through years of being a single mom and years of failed relationships, she met this man here uh, by the name of Kevin. And when she met him, she met this brother when he was down on his luck. Practically at the time, he was living in the homeless shelter. He was down on his luck. He was in a struggle, and that's where he was residing. And at that time, she was living in her own apartment, raising her two boys. And that is when she met him. So when she met him, they got in a relationship. Things got serious. One thing led to another. And I remember when she came to me and she told me about how she met him and that she really liked him and that things were getting very serious and she was possibly considering marrying him. At first, we wasn't, really thrilled with her wanting to marry him so quick because we felt like she did not know him that well. Um, we knew that he came from a rough background. This guy had a very rough childhood. He came up pretty rough. He's been in and out of the correctional facility center for years. He's been in and out of jail. So this dude was pretty rough around the edges. But she was willing to look past his faults and his flaws and was willing to accept him for who he was. And all she wanted to do was build a future with him. That way they both could have a promising future. And that's what she aimed to do. And unfortunately, being a Black woman, we don't get enough of credit for being ride or die. We don't get enough of credit for being dedicated women. It seems like as a Black woman, when we are dedicated to men, to men that are not doing that great, we're told that we are settling. We're told that we just want to deal with Pookies, when that's not always the case. Some women don't intentionally get men down on their luck because they want a man that's down on their luck. Some women get with guys that are down on their luck because by her being down, she could relate to his struggles. And basically, women, we empathize with Black men who are in the same struggle as us. And what a lot of us have tried to do, we try to get with these brothers, build with them, so we both could have something beneficial. But there's been a mixed message in the Black community that Black women only want to pick up men that are down and out because we're not that smart, we don't know any better, or we're desperate. And that's not always the case. Sometimes women, we pick up men that are not at their best because we have hearts and we gravitate towards men like this so we can try to be there for him. When my husband met me, I wasn't at my best. I was struggling. I didn't have a job. So he could have wrote me off and dismissed me because I was struggling. So the truth of the matter is sometimes people come into your life struggling. They're not going to be perfect. They're not. Sometimes you meet people in a bad season when they done lost their job, when they done lost their car. It doesn't mean that person was broke. It doesn't mean that person was a bum. Sometimes stuff happens. And basically, she met this man during the time in his life when things was not going right for him. And at the same time, she was also going through her own struggles. So it's not always about because the thing is too many of us being told Black women we're gold diggers because we want men who already are well established, who have money, who have cars, and that's true. You do have a lot of Black women out there who are gold diggers, but Black women who are willing to accept a man while he's down and not judge him, sisters like this get overlooked, and we're told that we're desperate, and we're told that we lack confidence, and that's not always the truth. But we you that there are some women that are drawn to Pookie's counselor. There are women that are drawn to them, but when a man presents himself as one thing, sometimes some men are good manipulators. They don't come off as Pookies right away, just like some women are great manipulators. You can't spot a gold digger right away sometimes. Some of these women are smart and cunning. They know how to come off as one way just to get close to you. And by the time you see their true colors, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? So not all women pick up a Pookie because she wants one. Some of these guys are very smart and very clever, and they know how to mask it. This is what this guy did with my friend. He did not come off immediately as a Pookie. He came off as a man who just fell on hard times. Now, there's a difference. If you pick up a man who don't have a job, don't have a car, got a bunch of kids, never had a job, never had nothing, then that's a straight Pookie. But if you meet a man who had a job, but so happened lost one, had a car, so happened lost a car, then he's not so much considered a Pookie. He's considered as somebody who's just having a hard time. And that's the difference. Because everybody wants to label a black man a Pookie because he's down on his luck, but he's not necessarily a Pookie if it was something that just happened in a temporary situation. Now, if he's been a Pookie all his life, never had a job, never had a car, always used women, then that's a goddamn Pookie. Yeah, so there's definitely some differences, but that's what this guy did. He didn't come off as the average Pookie. He came off as a dude that was kind of struggling, and he was trying to get himself together. Okay, so everybody can understand the situation with the story. That's where he came off at. And what happened was she sympathized with his situation, and she took him in her heart and in her home. He basically made it seem like he was looking for a job, he was saving up money and all this and that, and he knew how to finesse her. He was older than her, so older men already have an advantage when it comes to dating a woman younger than them because they know what to say, how to manipulate. They're more experienced. So he's like 14 years her senior. So he knew exactly what to say and he knew what to do. Um, so what happened was they got married, and by the time she realized how much of a piece of work this man was, she was already married to him. Come to find out, and sometimes it happens, you could be with somebody a whole year, and as soon as you marry them, that's when you see all this other stuff you didn't see before you married them. It happens. Sometimes you don't see a person for who they truly are until things done got too deep. Either y'all done had a kid together, y'all done got married. Sometimes people true colors don't come out until you done got in way too deep. And that's what happened. She was already married to him at this point, and she was the type of woman, she really respected her vows. She believed in for better or for worse. You have some black women, as myself, who take marriage very serious. I've been married almost 20 years, and I was with my husband when he didn't have shit. I was with my husband when he had shit. So I know what I'm saying when I say all black women. So a lot of us, we know how to be with our men at their worst and at their best. Okay, so women, some of us do understand as a wife, we have to accept the good with the bad, and that is basically what she called herself doing. She accepted his good and she accepted his bad because that is what a wife is supposed to do. We don't expect our husbands to be perfect and to be experts. And anybody who looks otherwise for that, you will be disappointed because nobody is perfect. And that's basically what she tried to do. So over the years, a lot of things transpired. Um, this man became very verbally abusive. This man became very, I don't want to say so much physical, because she was not the type of chick, she would not allow a man to hit her. So I don't think that was so much the issue, but it was a lot of verbal, to the point her boys, unfortunately, they witnessed this man um disrespecting their mother, and he did a lot of cruel things to her throughout the marriage, and they were together for like 5-6 years. And all she tried to do was love him, support him. I remember when his license was messed up, he didn't have a license. When she had got her little allotment, she helped him clean up, get his license straightened out. She did a lot to help this man get on his feet. And basically, he returned the favor by being manipulative, by being psychotic, and the man was just very hateful to her. Exactly, Alan. And that's the type of woman she was. So basically, uh he had 1,000 problems. I'm not going to get into all of it because I'll keep y'all on this live for 4 hours. By the time I tell y'all everything has done. So one of his issues was he was very antisocial because this man had a history of being in and out of the correctional facility center. And he was very antisocial. So he did not care to do a lot of things with her that a husband should be willing to do with his wife. What's up, Underrated Darkness? What's up, Sonny's Boxing? When it came to family events, he didn't care to go to cookouts. I mean, when he did go, she had to argue with him to go. She had to beg him to go. The man was very antisocial. He just acted like he really wasn't in to my friend as his wife because she had to pull him by his leg to get him to do stuff that a husband shouldn't have a problem with doing for his wife. There was several incidents, but I remember there was this one particular incident where for Mother's Day, her and her family was getting ready to meet at a restaurant, and they were getting ready to leave, and she wanted him to come with her. He had got an attitude because he didn't want to go with her to her family function, because you have to realize the man was very dysfunctional. He had a lot of mental issues, and he had different like mood swings. The man was a narcissist. So he actually, when they went to the restaurant to meet the family, he acted up so bad because he did not want to go, that she had to go in to the restaurant by herself because he acted like a straight jerk. He was just argumentative. He was doing all kind of stuff, all because he did not want to be with his wife on Mother's Day. So it just was a lot of stuff that this dude was doing or whatever. So as I stated, he had a habit of never wanting to go anywhere with her. He was not family oriented. Most of the things that she did was by herself and with her boys. He never really wanted to participate. He never was a family oriented type of guy. So most of the time, it was always just her and her boys, and he stayed to the house. The only time he was involved with her was in her boys is if he was in the mood, or if it was something he wanted to do. Like if he had to go to Home Depot or something like that, then he'll ride with her and her boys. So she was always by herself. He was rarely ever with her. And I think it's very sad when, as a wife, you have a husband, he doesn't care to really do much of anything with you. He treats you more like a roommate instead of a soulmate. He's just there to pay the bills and whatever. And he was just very distant. And what happened this particular night, she had to leave her house because she was selling dinners for her church, and her job, there was a couple ladies that ordered a late dinner, and she had to have their dinners there by 11 p.m. So she was getting ready to leave the house, and she told him that she was going to leave because she had to go drop off some dinners. Him being the non-compliant, non-participating husband he's always been, he was like, okay, then I see you later. He didn't even volunteer to go with her. He didn't even want to uh leave with her, because he always let her do stuff by herself. Like I said, he was never like there, and he's never was supportive. So she gave him a kiss on the cheek, and she said, I'll be back. I'm going to go and take the boys with me, and I'm going to drop these dinners off. Now, mind you, it's going on 11 o'clock at night. any man who cares about his wife, one would think that he would have volunteered to go with her versus letting her leave the house that time of night by herself with her sons. But that's the kind of husband he was. So she left, took her boys with her, and on her way to the job was out there way over a 2-lane bridge. And what ended up happening was she she as she was approaching the bridge, there was another car coming from the opposite side of the lane. And what happened was that car missed and crossed over and collided with hers. And it was a head-on collision. And what happened was the car struck her from the front. And what ended up happening was when the car struck her, uh, it caused a significant impact to the point to where it caused, I think, like blunt trauma to her chest. I think the steering wheel had hit her chest or something like that. And what happened was the guy that had hit her, he fell asleep behind the wheel. And by the bridge being very narrow and it being just 2 lanes, there was no way she could have avoided it. Because there was only a guardrail on each side. So she tried to blow the horn to get him to stop, but um the guy didn't have enough time or whatever the case was to stop. So what ended up happening was, unfortunately, it caused her to lose her life. And the only good part was that her sons, they did live through the accident. They lived through the accident. Her sons were in the back seat. She was the only one driving in the front. And she was able to say a few words before she left. And the last thing she said to her sons before she went on was to tell everybody that I love them and I want y'all to be with y'all grandmother. And that was the last thing those were the last words that she said to them before I made it to the hospital. And I did go to the hospital. She was already gone. She died instantly. So I went to the hospital to check on her boys. The whole family was there. All of us was, shocked. And of course, her no good husband, all of a sudden, guess who shows up? He does. He's sitting in the goddamn lobby. He's discombobulated. All of us are, because it just happened. So we all was trying to like sink it in, like, damn, it happened so sad, fast, and it happened so sudden and everything. So anyway, her boys made it successfully. Her boys are doing well today. I talked to her mom. I talked to my mom, which is her mom. I talked to her at least every so many months. Me and her sister talk almost every other day. So I still keep up with her boys as much as I can. And her family is my family. So I still keep in touch. But you know, besides that, because it's the whole point that I want to make, because people got to understand this stuff like this is real. It does not just happen in the movies, because I'm seeing it right before my eyes, which is why I'm sharing this. So what ended up happening was, of course, when it came to her funeral, I made sure I was there. I actually spoke for her at her funeral. I went to every trial with this man who was the cause of the accident. He was very remorseful. It was not a DUI. He was not drinking and driving. He just was tired. So he didn't get any time for it or whatever, but he was remorseful about the whole situation. So I mean, thank God for that. So as we're getting through all of this, her husband is showing up to all of these, trials and everything. And at this point, you could tell this dude is really broken because he didn't realize that the woman he kept overlooking, he eventually was going to lose. Thanks everyone for y'all condolences. He never realized, it never crossed his mind that he was going to lose the wife that he mistreated and took through so much. Okay. So what happened was months had passed, and she had got her insurance money, and what happened was when the lawyer contacted them, she had made changes to her insurance policy at the last minute because she just knew that she could not really trust him like that. So fortunately, right before she passed, she made changes to her insurance to where he was not able to get a lot of money, that most of the money from her death went to her children. So she was wise on that part. So he was able to get a little something, but not as much as he was banking on. So anyway, when this happened, this man was up here trying to collect as much money as he could to um profit off of my friend's death, knowing he was never that kind of husband, knowing he was never that kind of support system. We have people donating from all type of places. And he was picking up the donations, taking the money instead of splitting it with the boys and her sons like he was supposed to. He was sneaking and taking the money and doing all kind of unethical stuff. So he took the money. He was doing everything that my friend couldn't get him to do. He brought new furniture, but he didn't want to buy no new furniture when they was married. He didn't mind the raggedy furniture when they was married together, but he brought new furniture when my friend died. He didn't want to fix the car when my friend was living, but he went ahead and fixed the car. I offered her money after she passed and everything. So basically, he was spending her money, but at the same time you can tell he was still broken because the money he had was not taking the place of his wife, because she did a lot for him. She cooked, she cleaned, she ironed his clothes. So he still wasn't really happy because the money could not take the place of the loss of his wife. So what ended up happening was, as you know, the money started getting low, and that's when karma made its way to his address. Things just started going downhill from there with him. It was one bad luck after another, one bad luck after another. This dude just kept losing. He injured himself on the job thinking he was going to get workman's comp. He wouldn't get no workman's comp. His legs started giving him problems. So he was not able to work to pay the bills. So it was just one bad thing after another. So slowly but surely, I was keeping in touch with her sister, and she was telling me about all the stuff this dude was doing. And his luck went downhill when my friend, his wife, died. His luck kept getting worse. So it got to the point to where he was no longer able to afford to pay the rent. He couldn't pay the rent, and her family was still willing to let him stay in her garage apartment. But his luck got so bad because he was being disrespectful to her mother. He was being disrespectful to her family, knowing her family was all he had left, because his own family wasn't even dealing with him like that. His own family wanted nothing to do with him. So he couldn't even do the family he had left right. He talked to her mama like garbage. He talked to her sisters like garbage. So eventually they got tired of him, and they put him out. I told mom, because I called my best friend, I called her mom, my mom. I said, Mom, you need to get him up out of there. He's not, treating y'all right. He hasn't been supportive. He would not even pick out her dress for her funeral. He did nothing. He just been a low common denominator dude through this whole process. Okay. So just to just to let you know how real it can get, how God don't like ugly, and you have to be careful with how you treat people. I was on the Chatham County website last night. I have not seen him since my friend's funeral. I think I seen him twice. And when I saw him, he was still holding up okay, but you can tell he was really depressed. And you can tell that grief had taken over because he had lost his wife, and he never realized how much his wife meant to him. Even though he was dogging her, he was mistreating her, he would cuss her out. You could just tell he was grieving. And it had been over 7, 8 months, but still he really wasn't a husband. He wasn't supporting her boys. At least he could have did after she died was help her family raise the sons, because that is what she would have wanted. He couldn't do none of that because he didn't even raise himself, so he couldn't be there for her boys and none of that the right way. So anyway, what ended up happening was I went on the website the other day, and as y'all can see here, he's kind of heavy in the face and he's healthy in this picture because my friend was taking care of him. The suit that he's wearing, my friend picked that out. Okay, so the little bit of life he did have, this photo that I'm getting ready to show you is a strong indication of what can happen to you when you treat people like dirt. And I got this picture of him yesterday just to show y'all how bad this dude is looking. This is his mugshot that I got off of the website, because what happened was when um her mother, his family, put him out the apartment, he ended up back in the streets. He ended up back on drugs, and this is what he looks like now. See, I don't know why it's not sharing. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop sharing and resharing because I want y'all to see how all of his dirt came back to bite him, how it took a toll on him. I really, really want for y'all to see this. And I just so happened seeing this picture the other day. Now let me see if it'll let me share it. Let me reshare it again. Like, oh, there it is. Okay, let me go ahead and share it with y'all. This is what happens when you don't treat people right and you think karma will never come back on you. Okay, so I'm about to share it now. Okay. Give me a second. My computer is kind of slow because I really want y'all to see. This is called Life Lessons. And I would never share anything that's personal, but I feel like for all of what she has gone through, somebody needs to see this story, that you got to be careful with people who treat you wrong. This is how he looks, y'all. This is how he looks. Unfortunately, he's on drugs now. He's back out in the streets. He's homeless. Look at all the weight he done lost. I wish I was making it up, but I'm not. This is how he looks. They just this is from yesterday when they locked him up. Exactly, Sonny. He gave up. He gave up. That's exactly. Thanks to everyone for y'all condolences and kind words. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, he's on drugs. He's on drugs. That's exactly what happened. This is what happens. All the dirt he has ever done, it done came back. He had a good wife, had a good life. He was very abusive, verbally, physically. And when my friend passed, he just gave up. He didn't want to work no more. He didn't want to try to be productive. It's people who have lost wives and have lost husbands, but they still, remain productive. They still take care of their family. This just goes to show you how less of a man he's always been, because he couldn't even function without my friend. That's how weak and spineless he was as a man. Exactly, Turf. Exactly. Exactly. This is how bad he looks. They say they said he's homeless. He's back out in the streets, and he's on drugs, and yeah, his soul is empty. Exactly, Rael. If you see the major difference in how he used to look. See if I can find any more recent pictures. This is him and her together here too. Now y'all see how different he looks? See how heavy he was? He was always a heavy type of guy. He was always really heavy. See how fat his face was? And she was literally crazy about him. She was in love with him. And he just kept dogging her. Because he felt like no matter how much he mistreated her, she was going to be there no matter what. And that's how different he looks now. I'm trying to see if I could find. Yeah, they used to go on a lot of cruises and stuff together. Let me see. Okay, this a better picture of him right here. So as y'all can see, he's always been like a thick type of guy, and this is what he looks like now. Had a good woman who did everything for him. They traveled, they went places. She took him around the world, and he just would not treat her right. So when she died, I mean, this was the outcome. This what happened. So I say all that to say this to all of the Pookies out here: be careful being a Pookie, because you could end up like this dude. He was so codependent on my friend because he made his living off of my best friend taking care of him. He took advantage of her kindness. He didn't want to hardly work. He didn't want to be a man. He didn't want to provide, because guess what? Life can throw you curveballs you never saw coming. He never knew my friend was going to pass away, and my friend is younger than him. Usually it goes the other way around. Usually it's the older person that's supposed to pass before the younger person. But in this case, God had different plans. He took her before he took him. And because he became so complacent on dependent on my friend, he thought he was going to be able to use her for the rest of his life. He never saw the day coming. God would take him away. I mean, God would take my friend away from him. And he's so less than a man, he couldn't even deal with it. So he just gave up, and he's on drugs. So I shared this story and to not humiliate her or to make her look bad, but I really feel like her death should not go in vain. Do not allow a parasite to come into your life, and don't become a parasite. Don't go around here if you're a woman, don't go around here thinking you can use men all your life because of your looks, because of your body. If you're a man, don't go around here thinking you can use women because you look good, you're good in the bedroom, because it's going to come back on you. This is real life lesson. And that's why I shared it, as personal as this is. But I want people to understand, don't take people for granted. Because, like, he never saw it coming. Don't think it can't happen to you. So that is why I shared this particular content on these possessive pet pookies in the Black community. As Black women, we have to make better decisions. as pet pookies. Don't go all your life taking advantage of women, because you may hit rock bottom just like this dude did. And then what are you going to do? Yeah, Rael says he used her as a slave instead of his ally. Yep, exactly. Exactly. And now he's paying for it. He's sitting in jail right now as we speak. He just done gave up. And he didn't have to, because her family would have still supported him. He quit working. He just gave up. Once he lost her, I mean, he just had no more zest for life. So that's why it's very important that we treat people kind. You may have a moment with your man or your woman, y'all arguing, you getting into it. Make sure you apologize, make it right. You never know when your husband, your wife, your companion leaves that door, they may not come back. Yeah, he feels guilty. He couldn't deal with it. I saw depression take over him. I saw depression wither at him the day she passed. But the sad part was when she was healed. He was so freaking nasty and obnoxious. You never know when God is going to call you home. So, on that note, it's important that you treat people with kindness. Just because you have somebody that's that's very loving of you, that's very dedicated to you, that don't mean stump all over them and treat them like trash. And that goes for men and women. You have a good companion, be kind to them, because these days it's hard to find a decent person. If you got somebody that's halfway doing you right, you better learn to treasure them and hold on to them with all your might, because I promise you, it's getting harder and harder and harder to find honesty out here and to find a woman or a man that's going to ride for you. All of y'all with these delusional expectations. You want your woman to look like this and you want your man to look like that. Let me tell y'all something. It's somebody right now who wish they would have not taken for granted the man or the woman who they felt they wasn't attracted to. And he would let her know that. He told her he was not attracted to her. He told her that. He let her know it. And when that casket closed, on my word, he broke down like a child. He couldn't even hold her casket as a pallbearer. He didn't have the strength to do it. There's too many folks around here taking good people for granted. If you have a good friend, you have a good husband, you have a good wife, I don't care if they've been with you for 30, 40, 50 years. You don't treat them like dirt because you feel like, well, they've been with me 30, 40 years. They ain't going nowhere. Guess what? They ain't got to go nowhere. But who's to say God won't take them from you? Who's to say that? Thought about that? Exactly. Exactly, Rael. Facts. Facts. So learn from this experience that I shared with y'all today. Don't take somebody who really cares about you. I don't care if they're your friend. I don't care if they're your mama, your daddy. You got somebody that's looking out for you, that treats you with kindness, that at least is there for you. Don't dog them. Don't treat them all kind of way. Because life can change in a blink of an eye. Stay humble. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out with me in this live chat today. I appreciate all the positive vibes, the positive energy. I thank everybody for the super chat. Um, thank everybody for just rocking with me throughout this journey and everything. I plan on promoting more real life lessons situations because I really believe that it is so needed in the Black community. These are the type of topics that we need to be addressing because a lot of us, we don't speak on stuff like this. We don't think it's no big deal to treat people all kind of way, and so what, big deal, I don't need them. But if that person is no longer in your life, think about how different your life is going to be. Exactly, he was a weak clown, and that's the problem. We got a lot of weak clowns, meaning men and women, just straight weak, straight spineless, don't have a backbone. The only time they want to have a backbone is when it comes to dogging somebody and mistreating somebody. That's the only time they have strength, is when they want to try to make somebody miserable. Learn how to apply that strength and energy to building somebody versus building them and tearing them down. So anyway, y'all, I definitely enjoyed this content. I look forward to doing much more. I appreciate everybody who's been in this chat room today. I hope everybody takes this lesson dear to heart. Don't treat people all kind of way, because you don't know what tomorrow has in store. You may not be here, or they may not be here. You just don't know. So on that note, everybody, I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in with me. Um, Make sure y'all like today's content. Make sure, for those of you, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe, and you hit the notification bell. That way, if I do any more uploads, you will be the first to know. Also, for those of you who are interested in cable, I am selling cable, 7,000 channels for only $25 a month. That's included with free pay-per-view events. You must have an Amazon Fire Stick, and you must have high-speed internet, or else you would not have the tools you need in order for me to provide you with that service. So if there's anybody interested in getting cheaper cable, you're tired of dealing with DirecTV, Dish Network, Comcast, I have my own cable company, where I have over 7,000 channels. I have all HBO, Cinemaxes, all sports packages, you name it, I have it. So anybody who's interested, you can email me after this content. I can send you a 1 day, 24-hour trial, so you can check it out before you buy. If you're interested in the cable or something you want to keep, it only be $25 once a month. I don't charge late fees. I don't charge taxes. It's just straight $25 a month. You hate Amazon, Lord? Why? What did Amazon do to you for you to be hating Amazon? I'm telling you, I don't know what my dog problem is. This damn dog barks at his own shadow. He barks at everything and is so annoying. If anybody has a solution, please email me on how to stop dogs from barking, because he barks every freaking 2 minutes. It's just driving me insane. I can't take it, Lord, I tell you. But anyway, y'all, it's your girl, Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm gonna always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm gonna always break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed. And I'll probably be panel prostituting, so y'all might see me hanging out on somebody else's chat room or panel after this. So don't be surprised. But anyway, y'all, I'll holler at y'all later. Love y'all. Be blessed.